The pages of her journal were filled with stories about love, loss, and everything in between. Each story was a masterpiece, each word a work of art. But no one knew about them. Not her family, not her friends, not even her closest colleagues. Why? Because Amelia kept her true passion a secret. She feared that if people knew she was spending her free time writing romance novels instead of focusing on her career, they wouldn't take her seriously. So she locked her stories away, hiding them behind a facade of practicality and professionalism. But Amelia's double life couldn't go on forever. One day, her boss, the notorious Simon Walters, discovered her secret. How would he react? Would he ridicule her, or would he understand? Join us as we delve into the heart of Amelia's story and uncover the surprising twist that awaits. Amelia adjusted her glasses, pushing back a stray strand of hair that had fallen across her face. The cafe was bustling with activity, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingling with the chatter of patrons. Yet Amelia's attention was focused solely on the laptop resting on the table before her, its screen illuminating her thoughtful features. She was engrossed in her work, drafting yet another passionate scene for her latest romance novel. Writing under the pseudonym Stella Bell, Amelia had managed to carve out a small niche for herself in the world of romance fiction. Her stories, though deeply romantic, always had a practical twist, reflecting her own belief that love could blossom anywhere. However, she guarded her secret closely, fearing the scorn of her colleagues, especially those within the hallowed halls of Walters & Co., where she worked as an executive assistant to the formidable Simon Walters. Simon Walters was the epitome of a workaholic, a man whose dedication to his career knew no bounds. Tall and impeccably dressed, he commanded respect and admiration from everyone around him. But beneath his polished exterior lay a man who had sacrificed everything for his work, including love. Simon believed that sentimentality was a weakness, a distraction from the logical, results-driven approach that had propelled him to the top of his game. He was known for his sharp wit and even sharper tongue, a reputation that preceded him and often left his colleagues on edge. One afternoon, as Amelia was preparing for an upcoming business conference, she noticed a new task added to her already overflowing to-do list. Research and secure a suitable venue for our annual Christmas party. Due to the company's phenomenal success this year, Simon had decided to throw a lavish Christmas bash, an event that promised to be both extravagant and memorable. The pressure was on, and Amelia found herself racing against the clock to secure the perfect location. Her search led her to the charming Winter Palace, a historic mansion that had been converted into a stunning event space. The grand ballroom, with its towering ceilings and crystal chandeliers, seemed like the ideal setting for the company's celebration. However, as Amelia made her way through the mansion's opulent interiors, she stumbled upon a familiar sight. Simon, standing by a window overlooking the beautifully manicured gardens. He was deep in thought, his sharp jawline accentuated by the soft glow of the setting sun. Seizing the opportunity, Amelia approached him, hoping to enlist his assistance in finalizing the decision. Simon, I think we should book the Winter Palace. The ballroom is magnificent, and the gardens are stunning. It would be the perfect venue for our Christmas party. Simon turned, his piercing gaze meeting hers. And what if it's not what I want? He challenged, his tone leaving no room for argument. Startled by his unexpected response, Amelia stammered, "But you haven't even seen the place. I thought you'd appreciate the historical significance of the Winter Palace. Why do you assume I care about history or aesthetics?" Simon retorted, his voice laced with impatience. Realizing that she had made a mistake, Amelia quickly tried to rectify it. "Of course you're right. My apologies. But wouldn't you agree that a successful businessman should also indulge in a bit of luxury once in a while?" she asked, attempting to reason with him. A flicker of something akin to amusement crossed Simon's face, but it vanished as quickly as it had appeared. "Luxury is for those who can afford to waste time and money. Sentimentality is a luxury I cannot afford," he stated coldly, his words leaving no room for debate. Determined to prove him wrong, Amelia decided to take matters into her own hands. That evening, after everyone had left the office, she returned to the building, this time to her own apartment. With a mischievous grin, She pulled out her laptop and began typing. Weaving a tale of two unlikely individuals brought together by the magic of Christmas, a story that she hoped would change Simon's heart and mind. As the days passed, Amelia's novella took shape, each word infused with the spirit of Christmas and the promise of love conquering all. The story revolved around Olivia, a spirited young woman who finds herself in charge of organizing her boss's Christmas party. Enter Julian, a workaholic CEO who believes that love is nothing but a distraction. Through a series of humorous and heartwarming events, Olivia manages to break down Julian's emotional barriers, showing him that love and business acumen are not mutually exclusive. In the meantime, Simon found himself inexplicably drawn to the Winter Palace. He had dismissed Amelia's suggestion initially, but the more he thought about it, the more intrigued he became. Could this grand old building with its tales of love and laughter hold the key to reigniting the joy he had long forgotten? Or was he merely succumbing to the nostalgic charm of the season? Unable to resist his curiosity any longer, Simon decided to pay the Winter Palace a visit. As fate would have it, Amelia and Simon found themselves at the Winter Palace at the same time. Both were lost in their thoughts, each oblivious to the presence of the other. They strolled through the elegantly decorated halls, the soft strains of Christmas carols filling the air. Suddenly, they turned toward each other, their eyes meeting unexpectedly. A blush crept up Amelia's cheeks as she realized she had been caught. Quickly, she turned away, desperately trying to hide her flushed face behind a potted Christmas tree. Meanwhile, Simon, intrigued by the unexpected encounter, couldn't help but investigate further. As he followed Amelia, he overheard snippets of a conversation with the venue manager, enough to piece together her involvement in organizing the party. A sense of admiration began to grow within him. Admiration for her creativity, her passion, and the undeniable talent she possessed. As the weeks flew by, Amelia poured her heart and soul into planning Simon's Christmas party. Every detail was meticulously thought out, from the classic Christmas carols to the elegant decorations. She was determined to make it a night to remember. Simon, though outwardly stoic, couldn't deny the excitement that was beginning to stir within him. He found himself looking forward to the party, to the chance to escape the confines of his structured world and embrace the warmth of the holiday season. On the night of the party, the Winter Palace was transformed into a winter wonderland. The grand ballroom sparkled with thousands of twinkling lights, and the scent of pine filled the air. As guests arrived, they were greeted by the sight of a majestic Christmas tree adorned with exquisite ornaments and a roaring fire in the hearth. The success of the party was evident. Everyone was having a wonderful time. Even Simon. He found himself laughing and engaging with the other guests, something he hadn't done in years. At the stroke of midnight, as the celebrations reached their peak, Simon excused himself from the festivities and stepped out into the crisp night air. The cold air brought clarity to his thoughts, and he realized he could unignore his feelings any longer. He had to tell Amelia how he truly felt. Taking a deep breath, he turned and walked back into the Winter Palace, determined to confess his love for Amelia. There in the center of the ballroom, bathed in the soft glow of the Christmas tree lights, stood Amelia. She was laughing, her eyes sparkling with joy. In that moment, Simon knew he had found the love he had been searching for all along. He approached her, his heart pounding in his chest. "Amelia," he began, his voice unusually soft. "I need to tell you something." Amelia turned, her eyes meeting his. She could see the sincerity in his gaze and the vulnerability he had never shown anyone, let alone her. "Amelia, I believe I am falling in love with you," Simon confessed, his words echoing in the near-empty ballroom. Startled by his confession, Amelia felt her heart skip a beat. She had harbored feelings for Simon for a long time, but his reaction to her stories had shaken her confidence. To hear him now, professing his love, was like a dream come true. The walls around them seemed to melt away, leaving only the two of them in their own little world. "Simon, I love you too," she whispered, her voice filled with emotion. And as the last notes of the Christmas carols filled the air, Simon and Amelia sealed their love with a kiss, promising a future filled with both passion and practicality.